Rise of Shadows is out, and for the first time ever, Arena has rotating sets. In the next 2 months, we'll have cards from the new expansion, the basic and classic sets, Curse of Nexramus, Mean Streets of Gadgetzan, Whispers of the Old Gods, and the Witchwood. Additionally, new drafting rules are introduced, which shakes up the meta even further. In the past, pick 1, 10, 20, and 30 showed cards that are guaranteed to be rare and higher. This is no longer the case. Instead, we'll see guaranteed cards that are bucket 4 or higher. For those of you who don't know, in 2018, Arena had a bucket system for drafting. All cards are sorted into buckets, which are supposedly grouped based on their power levels. So cards from bucket 4 or higher will typically have much stronger cards than something from the lowest buckets. As a side effect, the change will lower the amount of rares and epic cards you'll see in Arena, which has a significant impact in the meta. For more information on other changes, visit the Blizzard link in the description below. Now, what do we think so far about the Rise of Shadows? First things first, Rogue's overpowered. At the time we produced this video, Rogue broke 58% win rate on HS Replay, with the lowest win rate at 42% with Warriors. Now, we definitely don't base our impressions purely on stats. Our Arena expert Tachii's first 12-win run was with Rogue, and also sees tons of Rogues at high wins. The class often feels oppressive to face against, as they often have a firm grasp on early game tempo, removals, and value. Currently, the class suffers very little flaws. One of its weaknesses is being rushed down by very aggressive decks, such as aggro hunters, but hunters lost their early game dominance, with a lot of their early game presence leaving Arena. There are a couple of main factors for the dominance of Rogues. The first is how fast the meta has sped up. Several class and neutral board clears have gone from Arena. We also lost several win more cards, such as Fungalmancer and Death Speaker. With these two trends, you can often go face way earlier, as their minions can't punish you for being on the board. Moreover, we have a bunch of great 1 and 2 drops now, while we lost many good 3 drops that slowed the meta down. Overall, Rogue is the king of tempo, and will often dominate the early game while building up more board advantage over time. With less rare and epic cards now, which are often very good board clears, other classes are often at the mercy of how quickly the Rogue can establish board dominance. Conversely, many premium Rogue cards are not epic or rare, and further emphasizes their power level. The new Rogue cards also have some crazy synergies with the old sets. At the time we made this video, Underbelly Fence and Vendetta, which require you to have cards from another class, can be triggered simply by having a tri-class card such as a Lotus Agents or Jade Spirit in your hand. There are simply tons of ways Rogue can end up with other class cards, and random neutral cards like Ravencaller and Tangle for Mystic can help as well. All of these cards generate a ridiculous amount of tempo, and other classes simply can't compete with it. We'll end our talk about Rogue with the buckets. Some of the strongest cards we noted are Unidentified Contract and Evil Miscreant, which are both underbucketed right now. Unidentified Contract is much rarer due to being an epic card, but is basically a stronger Assassinate in most scenarios, yet it's in a worse bucket than Assassinate. Evil Miscreant, the rogue combo minion that gives you 2 lackeys, is surprisingly very good. Now let's talk a little bit more about lackeys. In short, they're very powerful right now. Each lackey often has effects that cost around 2.5 mana in total, which means you often end up gaining tempo despite playing an understated minion to get the lackey. As we said before, tempo matters so much right now, and the lackeys can often provide an impactful swing very early on. Going back to Evil Miscreant, you can easily use the lackey that evolves a minion and upgrade a 3 mana 1/5 into something much better. With such a low attack and high health, Evil Miscreant can often survive on the board to generate such an advantage. Aside from Rogue, we expected Warlock and Priest to be great, and they certainly live up to the hype. Warlock received many premium control tools. In particular, cards like Fellfire Potion and Abyssal Enforcer are so strong you can often play them aggressively to push damage. Warlock also received Darkshire Councilman and can play a strong zoo game to compete with rogues early on. It's currently the only class that is really good at drafting a good control deck, but can also put down a lot of early game pressure if left unchecked. Priest is a bit different, but can also share the mentality of a control deck with a good mid-game pressure. Outstanding cards right now for Priest are Overstated Minions. Zombie Chow, Corrupted Healbot, and Proud Defender are strong neutral minions that fit the bill. Anduin himself also has Hench Clan Shadequill, Dark Cultist, and Cabal Talon Priest. Cabal Talon Priest can often win you the game by landing on a 3-2 while killing a 2-3 for free. With Emperor Cobra being one of the only poisonous minions left, overstated minions will often take control of the board as there are no easy ways to remove them. We can easily see a world where Rogue is micro-adjusted down while Priest dominates the arena instead. Playing control as a Priest is generally not recommended as you'll often not be able to draft powerful board clears, and will often rely on overstated minions to win you the tempo game. Speaking of overstated minions, let's end our final thoughts on some really strong minions from the Rise of Shadows that have impacted the meta. Just about every Lackey Generation card, including Evil Cable Rat, has been stellar in the meta so far. Lackeys can push a lot of tempo and can provide game swings that you can't see coming with the Evolve and Discover effects. Eccentric Scribe is perhaps the best neutral minion released in the set, with heaps of stats that's comparable with Savannah Highmane. No other card around 6 mana can completely deal with the total stats offered, and can likely replace Violet Worm as that big annoying fatty of the set. Burly Shovelfist is the most common Rise of Shadow neutral minion right now that offers a large removal option and a large threat. The card feels really powerful when it lands, but it costs 9 mana. It can be a dead card for the majority of the game. You also feel pretty sad if your opponent played their Shovelfist first, and you might have to use your own Shovelfist to remove it. One of the successful ways to win right now is to go all in on tempo and hit face a lot more, so games are decided before turn 9 when this card starts to matter. And with that, this wraps up our first impressions of the new arena meta. What class has been working out for you? Which crazy synergies have you pulled off? Leave a comment below, and as always, like and subscribe for more quality Hearthstone content.